Welcome to this travel talk with Selling Travel. Today I'll be catching up with Leo Ghitis, owner of Nayara Resorts, who will be telling me all about his collection of luxury properties and in particular the new developments in the Costa Rican rainforest. Hi Leo, how are you today?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very happy to tell you a little bit about our hotels. We have three hotels in on a very large property on the Arenal Volcano National Park.
Right.
The first property, which we finished completing it about 12 years ago. It's called Nayara Gardens. Then 5 years ago, we completed Nayara Springs. And then just before the pandemic, we basically completed phase one of the Nayara Tented Camp. The three properties are connected via bridges.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either take an electric car, a golf cart, from one property to another, or you can walk. It's a long walk because it's a very widespread property. Each of the hotels is different. Nayara Springs, for example, is our adult-only property, and that property is catered mostly. It's a kind of a romantic setting. The people that come are honeymooners or anniversary or any couple celebrating anything. Nayara Springs and Nayara Tented Camp have something in common. I mean, both are, for lack of a better term, this is 7-star type of hotels. But all the properties have plunge pools fed by hot springs. And that's something that is fairly unique about our hotels. We bring the hot springs from the Arenal volcano, and we're right there. So on the hills of the volcano, we have sources of hot springs, and we bring the hot springs via gravity to all of the rooms in the hotel. And the waters, we do not recirculate water. These waters come from the volcano nonstop, and they start the journey at the crater of the volcano, and they come to each one of our villas and tents, and we have these plunge pools. So as you walk out the deck, you have this gorgeous plunge pool, and you have hot springs that are fed continuously. And something that I always like to say is that not all hot springs are born equal. When people hear about hot springs, they're always thinking about dark, smelly hot springs.
Yeah.
We are very lucky because pretty much everywhere in the world, people drill very deep to get those hot springs. When they do it, the hot springs come with a lot of iron and a lot of sulfur.
Yes.
And that's the reason why hot springs typically smell like bad. Rotten eggs.
Yes.
In our case, our hot springs are crystal clear, and they have an imperceptible smell, but they have all the good minerals. I say it's almost like getting a bath in Evian water, but with all the good minerals. So they're transparent and basically no smell.
Well, thank goodness, because I don't think that would go down well with guests looking for luxury if they turn up there and everything smells of rotten eggs.
No, this is the most, and I've traveled all over the world, and I like hot springs.
Mm-hmm.
And these hot springs, obviously I'm biased, but I can tell you they are very unique.
Mm-hmm. And I understand why it would cater well to honeymooners looking for something very romantic, especially the adults only option. But you also cater to families as well. So tell me a bit about that offering.
Yes. Thank you for asking that question. It's a very important one. Nayara was always known as this ultra luxury destination for couples. Mm. And we realized that we were missing on the family side of the business. And Costa Rica is huge for families. So we decided that we wanted to create a special destination for families, but we didn't want to do what everybody else does. So I personally spent a number of years traveling and trying to figure out what to do. And we came to the conclusion that what we wanted to do was an incredible tented camp. Uh, not, I mean, something very, very different from what's available right now. And I visited so many tented camps that they all merge in my mind right now. I've been everywhere in Africa and Asia, which is where, in North Africa, where a lot of those tented lodges exist. So we decided to build a tented camp in at the top of a mountain overlooking the Arenal volcano, again with hot springs coming to each tent. We had a very interesting challenge, and we bought a mountain that had been decimated by cattle ranchers. And in Costa Rica, and I can talk hours about Costa Rica, so I will not do it right now. But in Costa Rica, if you cut a tree, you go to jail. So someone did this without being caught or before the law was passed. So we ended up buying this mountain, and it was profoundly sad. I used to walk up the mountain, and there was nothing. I mean, I don't even know how cows managed to subsist because it was pure mud. There was absolutely nothing. And we made the decision that we wanted to bring back the forest. This mountain was a primary rainforest before humans destroyed it. And something that for me was very sad when I used to go to this mountain, there was no wildlife. I mean, you didn't see a butterfly, there was not a bird, I mean, let alone no monkeys, nothing. And something that for me is incredibly rewarding. Probably one of the things that is the most rewarding in my life is that when you go up this mountain now, it's full of wildlife. It's full of birds, full of butterflies. There are even sloths and monkeys. And I don't know if I'm getting off topic, so stop me if I am. But one of the other joys in my Nayara life is we started this project to let me back up for a second. In Costa Rica, sloths are an endangered species. And the reason for that is because the mother sloths live in the tallest branches of trees. And many times, unfortunately, the baby sloths fall to the ground. And the mother is afraid to come down and pick up the baby because she's afraid of predators. So we started kind of rescuing those baby sloths, and we created a sloth sanctuary. And much to our surprise, and what we did between the different hotels, we created biological corridors. Much to my surprise, these wonderful sloths rebelled, and they said, we don't want to live in a sanctuary. And they use the biological corridors, and they are everywhere now. So all over the hotel, we see these wonderful, wonderful creatures.
Wow.
And something else that happened, which is incredibly exciting, where Nayara is located, I'm sure there were monkeys years ago before we humans encroached on their habitat, but now you just don't find them. A couple of years ago, we saw a monkey on the property, and I said, wow, there are no monkeys in this ecosystem. And somehow this monkey found a mate, and now we have monkeys. And so we have sloths and we have monkeys. And for
Nature
someone
is
like
taking
me,
over again.
yeah. And during the pandemic, it was incredible because we have cameras and they took over all the hotel. There were no humans. There were just monkeys and sloths. So for someone like me who loves this, it's incredibly exciting.
Were they satisfied customers?
You know what? They are the best customers in the world. And you know what this has proven to me, I've always thought, and that's why I got into the business candidly. I thought that we could be an agent of positive change. I subscribe to, I mean, we were one of the pioneers in regenerative travel. And so for me, it was for me, getting into the hotel business was something that gave me the ability to really create a positive impact in many aspects. I mean, besides nature, there's also the community and there's the employee aspect, which I'm happy to talk to whenever you want to. But part of what I was trying to prove is that nature and us could live together, and there was a way that we can actually help wildlife grow and prosper around humans, and that's what's happening in Nayara, and that's incredibly exciting for me.
And could you just touch on some of the community, the local experiences that guests can get involved in? Because I know that's all part of the sustainability initiatives that you and other hotels are concentrating on these days.
Yeah, I mean, we feel, and I personally feel very strongly, that being sustainable is not good enough, because being sustainable means that you are not doing anything that damages or hurts the environment. I think that's not enough. I mean, we humans have done so much damage that we need to go to the next level, which is what we call regenerative travel, which is to basically to fix the problems that we've created and deliver to next generations a better planet than the one that we live in now. And so we have a lot of initiatives. For example, I didn't finish telling you, this mountain where we built a tented camp, we planted 20,000 trees and plants. So something that had been destroyed, we're bringing it back to the way it used to be. And that's our philosophy. I mean, we need to make the planet a better place for us and for future generations. And so we do so many things to make sure that we do not do anything that would hurt nature. I mean, we were the first ones, and we very early on, we basically stopped using plastic in the hotel. I mean, in the hotel, you will not. I mean, now a lot of people are doing it. 14 years ago, it was very innovative when we said no more plastic in this hotel, no straws, nothing like that. The way we treat or waste water, many hotels many industries just use chemicals to clean their wastewater. We use biodigesters. It's more complicated, but it's a way to not put more chemicals in the environment. The way we build our rooms so that we minimize disruption to the ground. I mean, there are just so many things, little and big things that we do in terms of making sure that we don't impact our natural surrounding. Above and beyond that, we also feel that we have a huge obligation towards our communities. So what we do many things in that regard. First, 9% of the employees at Nayara come from the local communities. And most of the time, they come to Nayara with very little training. They have never seen a foreign person. So they come to the hotel. We have an English teacher. Now we're hiring a French teacher. And we really develop people at the hotel. We source pretty much everything from the local community. And so what we try to do is elevate the standard of living in the communities that surround us. We also support all the municipal institutions. And something that we are doing that I think is very important as a hotel, we have a limited a possibility to support the local community. We do everything we can, but something that we're doing is when guests come to the hotel, we invite them to go visit the local institutions and get involved. And something that was a wonderful experience, a wonderful thing that happened to us just before the pandemic, we support the local orphanage in a little town next to our hotel. Um, we One of our guests and his wife went to see the orphanage. They fell in love with it, and they wrote a check that is probably as big as what they get from the government every year. So that's something that is very important for us. And if we can get our guests to partner up with these local institutions and kind of become a partner with them and help them on a regular basis, that that can make an impact that we as a hotel cannot do on our own. So we invite everybody to help us in this mission.
That's inspiring. I love that story about the orphanage. I think that that's what an incredible experience to have and to be a part of that. That's what I'm really looking for when talking to hotels, these stories
Yeah,
and how you've changed lives. So yeah, that's
yeah.
incredible. And so moving on, I know times have been hard with the pandemic and people not traveling as much. So how are bookings looking for this year?
We are incredibly lucky because the kind of hotels that we own and operate are the type of experiences that people are looking for. I mean, I mean, candidly, we always did well, but the fact that all of our rooms are freestanding, separate villas or tents, all of our restaurants are al fresco. They're all open restaurants, and the property is, I mean, our properties give you a lot of privacy. During the height of the pandemic, when things were really bad, luckily things have improved quite a bit. We had couples or families that came to the rooms and never left because you have your own pool. We, I mean, we bring. I mean, the villas are equipped with everything you need, and so they would do room service, and we never saw anybody. So it was a little eerie
Yeah.
because I would go to the hotel, and they would tell me we are 100% full, and I wouldn't see anyone anywhere, and people just stayed in the room to be safe. Um, Nowadays, when I mean, I think we're all a little bit more. I mean, we're all careful, but we're a little bit more relaxed, and we're learning to live with this virus. And people feel comfortable because they can eat outdoors in all of our restaurants. Something that we did, we also were a little avant-garde at that point. We were probably the first hotel in Latin America that got vaccines for all employees. So at Nayara, everybody is vaccinated, and everybody wears face masks. We have, I mean, we clean the hotel. I mean, the cars we do with ultralight. I mean, we take it very seriously.
That's very reassuring. That's what travel agents want to hear.
Yeah.
And just finally, what would be your parting message? Why should people come visit the resort, visit Costa Rica in 2022?
We are all so tired of this pandemic. I mean, I think we cannot handle this isolation any longer. What I would tell your viewers, your readers, is that first, Costa Rica is an amazing country, and too bad that we don't have time because I could speak for. I'm not from Costa Rica, by the way. I wasn't.
Ah,
I was born in Colombia, but fell in love with Costa Rica uh, 20 years ago, and have been doing business in Costa Rica. But it's an incredible country that stands for everything I believe in. That's why I fell in love with the country. But if you come to Nayara first, you have my ironclad commitment that you will not, that you will love it. You will have a great time. We will take care of you. You will be safe because we care about that. And and I think and you will be immersed in nature, knowing that what you're doing is helping us with all the social projects that we're doing to improve our surroundings, the community, our employees. So by coming to Nayara, you're helping us make the world a better place. And while you're doing that, you're going to be having a wonderful experience. It's a very luxurious experience, but it's understated. Uh, it's not over the top, and it's people call it barefoot. I don't know if that's a good way to call it.
Yes,
I would just
yeah.
tell you is it's understated. It's not showy, uh, but it's truly a 7-star type of experience. So I hope you all come to visit, and I promise you that you will love what you get. What you'll enjoy your experience, and you will feel proud to be part of this social project that we're involved with.
And you promised that there will be sloths.
I promise there will be sloths. I promise there will be monkeys. I promise you'll love. I mean, we have a bunch of wonderful restaurants. Our spas are state of the art. Um, I mean, we offer almost 100 tours uh, from the hotels, so you will not be bored for 1 second. And there's something for everyone at Nayara. If you just want to stay and relax, uh, we have these wonderful spas. If you want something with a lot of adrenaline, you can climb mountains, you can go down waterfalls.
Zip
There,
lining.
you can do zip lining. There's something for everyone.
Perfect. Well, I think you've sold it really well there. And yeah, I'm sure business will be booming in 2022. Thank you so much, Leo. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you for talking to me. And obviously, I mean, you need to come and visit.
I will. I'm desperate to.